Adom FM.
I know that the NDC presidential candidate, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, believes and says often that Ghanaians have a short memory. And he must hold strongly to this belief. Otherwise, I doubt he would have summoned the courage to be seeking another term after the disaster that was his presidency. Ghanaians might have short memories, but not short enough for us to have forgotten the broken down freezers, irons, and other household equipment thanks to the 5 years of Dumso. Our memories are not short enough to forget that the economy under him was such a wreck that there was a ban placed on all recruitment into our public services. Our memories are not short enough to forget that teachers taught for 3 years and were only paid for 3 months. Our memories are certainly not short enough to forget that he brought our entire financial services system to near collapse. I've heard him make the extraordinary claim that Ghana's economy was in, quote, tatters, not because of the COVID-19 pandemic, but because of mismanagement.
Adom FM.
It is clear that there are a lot of youth who, when they finish school, just trying to rent accommodation is a big problem. And why is it? The large demands for rent allowance, sometimes up to 2-year demand. But someone who is finished school and just starting a job, doesn't have those saved to pay all these huge demands for rent allowance. The landlords, on the other hand, have gotten used to asking, even though the law says 6 months, they've gotten used to asking for 2 years and insist on it because they are saying that they don't know if the tenant will run away or not, so they want to collect it upfront. So there is a market failure. There's a market failure between what tenants want and what the landlords want. And this is why government has decided to come in and bridge this market failure by setting up a national rental assistance scheme. And under this scheme, if you have a job and we can deduct regularly from your income, under this scheme, the National Rent Assistance Scheme will give you a loan to pay your rent allowance. But we are paying this not to you, but to the landlord. And then we will deduct monthly as you would normally pay. So we are bridging this. You need to have a formal employment, which will allow us or guarantee someone who will guarantee so that you can pay. But it is very, very important that we address this, and we are going to be putting in place 100 million Ghana cedis for the National Rental Assistance Scheme and work with the private sector to crowd in more so that we can get this done and relieve a lot of people who are renting of the burden. We are also going to digitize the National Rent Control Board, and a new law which has been coming to cabinet will also pass a new Rent Control Act to become modern with our times. All the achievements that we have actually chalked in our 3.5 years in every sector, 17 sectors in all, and we have listed all the achievements. There are 289 separate promise categories, and we have listed over 300 achievements that we have in 3.5 years. Over 300 achievements. And so when you read the manifesto, you will see that we have fulfilled at least 80% of our promises. That is massive for any government in its first term. 80% of our promises. And when you look at all these achievements, you realize that sector by sector, we have really performed better, much, much better than the previous NDC government.
Adom FM.
free under the secondary education, many students were not able to access it. There is also a bottleneck that we are trying to address, because when the senior high school students graduate, many of them will look to go for tertiary education, and we have to facilitate their ability to access tertiary education. So we have a major policy initiative which will say that all tertiary students except teacher and nursing trainees who will be on allowances, but all tertiary students will now be able to get the option to obtain a student loan without the requirement of a guarantor. The problem for many tertiary students is the current scheme asks for guarantor, and a lot of people are not willing to put their pensions online, so many students are not able to access. So you don't need a guarantor. All you need is your national ID card. That's all. Their performance is quite low, and we have got this program where we are going to target these 10,000 schools and improve their performance by giving them additional funding in addition to their capitation grants, and also support the teachers additionally, so that they can raise the levels of performance of these 10,000 schools so that they will not be left behind. This is the Gallup program that we are going to be implementing. In addition, we want to make sure we are going to continue building on infrastructure. Year of roads, water for all, toilets for all, and all of that. We will continue doing that. We will continue the construction. We'll have construction in Sunyani and Kita of water supply projects, of course, in addition to those going on in Tamale, Yendi, Damango, and so on. We'll accelerate our investments in roads, railways, and ports. And for the people of Cape Coast, I have good news for you. We are building a new harbor in Cape Coast and a new airport in Cape Coast. It is very critical that we do that. An airport makes a lot of sense in Cape Coast. A real tourist hub, and between Greater Accra, Kumasi, and Cape Coast, you have a triangle that really is a lot of hub of economic activity. You can build railway lines between them, and it's a major growth pole if we put an airport here to drive infrastructure growth. Ladies and gentlemen, we will eliminate import duties on sanitary pads to improve health conditions, particularly for girls. It's very important, but what we want to really do is to make sure we produce the sanitary pads in Ghana. Until that happens in their numbers, we are going to eliminate the import duties to bring down the cost. And the focus in this era of digitization, we are going to also focus on telemedicine. Now that will reduce the cost as doctors can diagnose and prescribe at a distance and don't have to be particularly at a location.
Adom 106.3 FM Akasimanu na nonson abonti sounds from Cape Coast over the weekend and on various sectors. Neomampeni, His Excellency Nana Dutu Jania, the Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, and so Ekanya. But Anapay Mesaka, the Minister of Information, Honorable Kwajo Opon Nkrumah, Member of Parliament for Ofuase Ayiribi. Or Abrofudini, but I know my boss is here. We be some baby. I'm quite Abrofudini free. Good morning. Good morning. Maybe now Cape Coast.
Aye.
But I say you were a little messy, no. You said sir, and I know
you man know the whole stage, they're different from production and work too.
I understand. I understand. But in all, program saying from where you sit and in your position as the information minister, Honorable.
Senya ubia ehu ewo ni TV show and online so no. You never did that MPP ikuno ene abaya ene etiswe yeto ya bushi share ye nema beboa ya maya kan asem ye bi fi campaign na se and me that you fear at your Cape Coast Yedi kan chere juma mfie be miensa ye no mfie nan o mfie be miensa ne juma e ba ya ye titiru o mine sikatem fapema na tosia yedi egina ne na so potokasem ye restoring economic stability na no ye tentem and also adeba kwa ne bi akotin wom e nkane anyina nkane ye ma egina ye no gina entini findi juma nkofo nyuma ne ade so enya kwan gina ne ade esanso di nkomo fa impuntu a yetumi ama abaga na mema se wo hwe ye friend growth a maybe pega 53.4 edikodu bebe 6.something%. And some nema hodo a social program including education and health their yaye ewo ho their friend investment in infrastructure cry no pride and answer na mampanya be the trade anima ye pa huntoma eduma yaye they are strengthen anti-corruption institutions they are refresh the faith and spirit of leadership penny the udio manima tima the friend of competence and sana the course na what a foul concerned leadership in ekeka what you ye na niema se nyame adom na Ghana for boy ni nyam fie na ka ma na dan kwaku adva ye beye eno so ye pa hontoma edito abonten anti em so bi ohwe bia to say ye di agro ni yie agro na no ne form afina osono na si form a e bi fie adwuma na se.
Right. Honorable, I don't know, but say your time kakana pay maybe say the best select by two sectors. One the economy. Me fear say kind of manifesto a bidam and say or the economy. We have promises and then what you've done so far. Restore overall macroeconomic stability. Saying then putting a buy in 3.5 years my on restoring macroeconomic stability. Honorable.
No so sit down you hear pa ne fapem sit down na say why ne fapem ni na koye ne nsu bia udan na person si no kura bebu enti sikasem fapem na de friend of macro stability ne de
yes
say aban bia went to me anhwe ma ne nyina ne na so a wo ye hwe anyi if I know na wo di bitua bibia bia hoka ye ba ben mu no be kaya na Ghana sika semno mura mahama ban ama so ate say sebe ware enam no manaka dompe sabre no na dia your friend no fiscal deficit at a number 6.8%. na omaino input to ankasa eswatia ba bedu bebe 3.4%. kai so ura kufu ko oil odija by 2011 no mining punto and number 14%. Into a bar bemono, bayam film, you know me and say you can obekaya. Fiscal deficit, and a fibia sika, ye kobo, besnia de beka, or manisika kakra in your home. Nasa Breno, it's now 6.8% of rebased GDP in 2016. No, Ura Bidube 2018, I to make Tesomana Babe 3.8, 2019 at Babe 4.8. Say, we be a friend of primary balance, and then so yeah, that you seek a yetumia did treat you a yeka dika one. To say, at my four catch you and kick on their primary balance for bay and Fiemi and Saya Bay 0.5% in 2017, 1.4% in 2018, 0.9% in 2019. Inflation, acquire near my bo faso cosro. Yankasa near my bone cosro bumo. So abra ye ba ben na niema ebo kosoro oha nchichemu edunum ene 3.9 15.4% as of December 2016. And ne uhwe bebia ye de inflation aba bedua the lowest since 1992. And ye de aba bedu single digit inflation imuna say ye we uhwe ye trade balance niema ye krapia brochine niema ye de kwa brochire ha and ne yen niema ye de kwa brochire no sika yinya soro esin de ayen yekra ifi abuchi even you see the yenka say you see the agina faako so where you see the no senia esu hwan a between 2017 and 2019 exchange rate it has been twice as stable as it was under Abandada no 2013 to 2016 po to where average depreciation of 8.7% under MPP ni 18% under NDC abra NDC wa bem you see kasu hwan they 18% on the average a year. yedi abafom to be 8.7 esunti 0 but ababe to be 8.7%. And no na yitumi ma yisikasem gina yia omampani to me Ghana ifi IMF sikasem ko asomimo na fi sika kakra obobo ano no ofi ase BBS say nkwala tifie ni adwuma nako yemfa o madwumam nkwala enya kwan ekọ suku a ejanum ni bi yentu om suku fees 2017 bisi na yetua nkwala ni suku fees allowances ahodo aban ni twam no yentumi entiatu ani na mfi ho the constituency bi ase ohia ambulance 307 ho adwuma mo bi ansanka it macro stability na yetumi dia back and so many sikasem fapem na yegina yi no eno na aboa man na yesikasem nchise ya 2 year dia ma hodo wani ehu nyina no yepem edikoyene.
Okay, but honorable on the depreciation of the cedi no tia ethical fem no mintimi hu hyehyɛ amudi agu akwan so giving the next 4 years yame adom na mosan edi nkunimu a ne ambɛya afa ho honorable
ade di akotene wo mpa ne sɛ e wo sɛ Ghana yetumi any more dollar than you spend the dollar and never my yesika na gina pa.
Okay,
enti me catch will be about trade balance say a trade balance no say largely a surplus 2017 2018 2019 say sika yen nya fi amano ne fiti ne me de kone dɔɔso sin sika yen de kwa brochiri ekɔ krania maba eno no koso ye ne saa wo dollar reserve no ekononim a so bi per dollar wo Ghana ase yen ka per dollar short into atum na my exchange rate no se be depreciate ti de dia kotene pa wom ene se Ghana be any more dollar than ye spending eno no ye be ya ejina ye economy na ye biem enema ye de kwa manone ekokoton non-traditional export. They are Exim Bank for year one district, one factory, Niniama, ye pese ye export to Kwabuchino. And no only be dear cotton my junior any dollar, na ye see no, Ejina. It is a Uhe manifesto ya round 2, Nyamia Yadum, Nagana for Yaduma. Ye new war, ye industrial program, ye export program, ye economic expansion program, no papa.
Okay.
Say you be to me producing more, Ghana has say, na export be. Ebi also niama nka ye krade ba uka manifesto na etirem say import substitution bibi te say poultry products emo fruit juices na nke ka on ade no so say to me boy homodin under 1D1 FIA nze ukọ ekumfi a fruit juice factory ho ofi Kofodua bank ya udu Amadoko constituency wa bo say poultry factories akese abefu mfidie bi akese wo ho saa niama na ye pin nyina no ene be reduce ye importation na dollar kakra ye wono so atna ha was aye prebika ho ye ne saa no ye sidi ni jira ne naso.
Okay, honorable ade ba ko a megidi say menu mienu every yen pa rent Ghana ha ya ye wa kwantom ni de rent ku yen pa na Dr. Baumia de nsem bi atu dwa me pese obesensi su bi omudi amayen mo se de na mo be ya fa rent ho
rent no ade a ye ede afa rent no say ye the national rent assistance program biba.
Yes.
Your friend no NRAS, National Rent Assistance Scheme. Obi wo ho a ene wani adwuma. Ebusumi aketia we are 700, 800, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 or per dime. Then you okoji di kan ye say rent advance. Ye bobo na wani adwuma dio nanso ene onya sikeda ho ntua sa rent advance na ye ka no. In the edikano rent control mrana edaho na wasi edi edwuma any platform ebema obi ehu se dan wa ha ne boni me kope bi ye meso me landlord me wadan digital platform a ebema chi demand to supply no uhwe manifesto mu a ye hu edwuma eno kwampo de fi ase a ye bema na konanim but the edika homa na de kwampo ni say national rent assistance scheme no ebema so we landlord wa register with scheme na wo dan bi wo baby na se meso me pedan na meso ma register with scheme na scheme no ebema ya bo me besia ma me dia rent wo dan says kan ye mfem ma me di betua wo landlord no
okay
na me maketua ba busumi bia no ye di etua back into the scheme into a bridge the gap between demand and supply ema advance no go ahead na menya dan no na me bosumi aketu e bia no yetumi edi etua back to the National Rent Assistance Scheme. And we share for ye de babeka already the improve rent control and the digitization of demand and supply platforms.
Okay, and it's I just say me ya ban juma ana me je bosumi akatua ansana because e bia na me ye me amadwuma me ye bodwoboja bia me ye carpenter ni ana bibisa me was akwanya ni bi honorable
infitiase no nhihia e dia to a regular income. Okay, infitiase no ye hwe obi proof say when ye adwuma dina ne naso abosumi bia etua na ketua na se bosumi bia betua na ketua. And only the initial criteria ye use. Ye ko enim no say o say dane mu kakra ye be dane kakra, but the here part for the scheme ne say ubetumi demonstrate say adwuma ku say ama me adwuma abosumi bia o betua me simple ana kapre say adwuma ku ane na so a o betumi akoso etua me ka na fi rent assistance scheme no edi kan etua rent na ma na wo bosumi aketua bia ne etua rent assistance scheme no back.
Okay, one more on rent no say me free adwuma am say me ne MultiMedia na ye adwuma na me free adwuma ha kwa adwuma foforo mu a she to saying how do I continue with this scheme? Honorable.
An insurance component kakra can ho ebe mitigate some of these risks to ensure say simple no and then say bia we fi adwuma mu kra ato renchem to me ba obi to nya akwanhia na adwuma sebe akobo no ana ne na ne nsa na ho ode adwuma na akobo no say abo nsa ni fee no ekofom enti there's an insurance component a wo a mfitiase na no so be na tumi secure income na eno ye hwe na assistance scheme no e de etua sa rent na ma no mampani gidi say enema ebeye ma emrante ni megun ganafo eho ahare wo bia wo se ye eno nti na so wahwe na mamuni na 2017 ban abrebia oda dai so a oso eye kwan ebetumi afa so ate omanfo bre eso nti nyame adom ganafo ye adom na enya second term once our regular income no omo de ye rent assistance scheme we need insurance na ka ho a eno ne bedi wanim na etumi etua rent advance na ma na also sika na ba wetumi de etua baby a scan ifi.
Interesting. Yet so on sanitary part from the vice president and also so Nchemone to saying
say taxation on and there may be a yesusu say ye to me etete tax ne free so a ebe man di problem harewo baako any taxation on some of the elements including sanitary part and ye wo gd say to me yi sa na money na fi so be boama ye ma menom ye yerenom ye nuanom ma ye mama omso ho harewo kakra na omso sanitation ni sanitary hygiene no akonkai.
Okay, but and meeting discussion be no be raising the issue. I think somewhere 2016 or thereabout. Sanitary part issue we abrana in this abine was no ABPA Parliament and you know the MPP as a namutia. I don't know. So what has changed as you see?
The PA Parliament and say na abine show kwaje besia. No the besia na be sanitary pad achiche amankofo. Now MPP argument at the time they say they are more efficient ways that will be to me at the abwa. Ebi at the abwa to say the can say ubi tax the sefiso. And I say ubebwa even local factories or no crab to me in Itika a produce be a nebo form. I won't sign the tax. Now say offer that option Sabreno the argument are you making it say it was not the most efficient way to handle that particular issue of concern. It's efficient enough to say yes. I quite so near for say kobo besia the akoto sanitary pad abetite. Okay. The policy proposal ye dia to Ghana for any man who Brazil man say taxes e was no e be ye fi na ne bo aba form no bi a obeka say ne bo nti ontumi ntobi no wetumi atobi e bi ugro one district one factory program say you focus on supporting made in Ghana goods at the next level, no, and also Bema factories produce be a wukrum has a nebo form, and also be a tina. If you a born about for ma, one can say Sikentina untobi. into a totally different approach, which is a totally more efficient approach.
Okay. And say, Matthias here, but good news. Cape Coast Benya Airport na fe harbor. And to chire mu kakra.
Nsi say anase suhu a yenya feasibility studies my etre say wohwe castles, forts, any tourist sites what central regional. Only over 310,000 visitors every say on a monthly basis if the data I read are correct. A huge tourist potential. In fact, Obekaya, former central regional minister, say Ura Kojoyan Kapenso, and almost 30 pushes say and Cape Coast enya Irium Saint Jinabia. Ebia international airport kukuru to say Kotoka. But Ebia between local airport and small airport kakra aircraft the manipa be 60 and 100 be able to meet a 2 year. You see what a ye. Now no ya a won't so be breedy kind. One of my per se a central region for tourism because central region is one of your biggest tourism enclaves. Problem back where moving cry qua and your main road no kwa ube fin crying traffic no wave do one. Do now God knows how many hours. I buy here where Juma ye church anymore. But apart from tourism, so the convenience here. It's a airport. No be to me a fly if you Kumasi and Tamale and Ankrai. I be do central regional airport where tourism no able to me a double in about 5 years. Numbers of people are call for tourism, they be to me a double in about 5 years. It also be Stukosa who do a war central region. From tertiary institution, Cape Coast University, Abiyamekoye, to senior high schools, who do a war on Enyejuma. It's a war airport war aircraft, they be a nipa bay 50 and 60, it to meet them, and a nipa bay 40 to meet them. Now, here the numbers of students, parents, echo air bar, and who traffic. Any who usage potential the manufacturer no idea very feasible. And sana send a person Ghana be a hub for West African trader. Your hub was me no tema Adom to me beam takrade ya pemusika ye ba beam. But so unya hub bako ewo Cape Coast it meet beam further. Emma a lot of transit trade into West Africa no. It to me the kind of say crampo and sana ibiafa baby ako na yewa regime says it to me no kan one. The central regional economy no emu be bie atre emanyuma yedi aba. Eno nti na mpanimfo ehwe nkrata emu mo decide say yemfensi ye ni so say mfie na ye da enemy so ba de to ni su pagu so na say yenya mandate na ibe fi both the airport and harbor a war central regional capital Cape Coast no okay. Be fee in fact uti oba penny sisi ada part time no aviation minister na o chere mu sa brand crampo say e ho feasibilities ni ade no o ma fi ase a wono mo ehwe aye o man penny call central region for the tour no o radio station back o mo bisa no e no chere o say enye bosirim ka say o fi ase ano aka say ye be airport ana say ye say ye nim say nkofo ka ho asem fiti be 1997 ho baby. But was so more feasibilities in Nara. Now, who answer questions in Nara? I say about 1.5 hours from Accra. Is it too short? Airport, no boy, I had 20 million. Now, quite another fast one talker. In front of Benyuska. Yeah, I say, I was so yeah. Now, we are. I buy to me a ticket decision. No, I don't know. My penny be the air now say.
Okay, but honorable on tourism, yeah. The only thing is kind. Sanka, mema dreamo, ye be dualize it quine. Nanka in bare 45 minutes, 1 hour. Medru Cape, of course. Me call tour Cape Costa. Tourism is about buying. Inti me make it stops. Yamransa ho, mejina ho to dokuni bi midu briwa anomabo ni ade na mejina ho. Ni na ka tourism no ho. And sana bia ya ntini say be airport. Ana so ye di kanya airport ni nja kwan ni sa nyete no a.
Oh, enye either or situation so ka so be airport na wonye kwan no. There be entisa. Obey quine for its own purposes because quine say you be na ebekwa kodu Cape Coast so be wa quine be fa so edu mankesim keke obi be fa so edu ekumfi keke enti quine de obey owura kufu apen so obe kaya fiti 2001 eba sa Cape Coast kwan no na one of my coast go Cape Coast on beka to nipa ni wu also on a regular basis then na form me call Cape Coast me no kuma di mature conference pem sa kwan no nipa wu so ru akufo apen so kwesen ya kwan ye no. The intention is to continue and expand. In fact, even railway, the intention is to ensure, say, sa Eastern Railway line now, be connected to say Kaswa to Ukraine. Now potentially are connected to Western region for goods and Kasano. And we say, to me, and then what happened. But at the same time, no, there's added value. Say, Unya Airport, it was central regional, and no. Ne hum faso ewo na tourism potential in particular no enye obi na se be obefa kwan so akọ me say da me call Mole National Park senka metumi afa enkran kwan ya owura kufu apenso ye ya kodu kumase ma faso akọ Mole but for convenience sake intino me di we mshine ne kodu Tamale and sana me drive e akọ in tourism there comes with its own convenience requests. Unya kaho eboa intenya either or situation sir also unya kwan into be airport there
okay but honorable catapult mo shebo some be how far with that because from every indication anya dey amaya say adwuma no and then there's another promise for Cape Coast harbor honorable
you to me kase dey kan we catapult into here so die for because catapult na we kra and solve central region problem no enti the argument say you we catapult and my enka for be a wasem no eno de yen any argument yesu any first point. Second point, catapult no enye say da hotra obi ate akoda wo empanimfo a wo say pa wo mo ye ho adwuma ene okokokohwa ni pa oye in charge say the director obehwe masa adwuma ni na akoso no ya point no who feasibility ni who ka ni who sikasem ni ade nyina enya na nsan asem o we kra asem a ye ka Cape Coast airport habo ho asem a ye kan enya na nsan se bia ye bae na ne 6 months no ni ewiu afina wo kwa kope hu sika in fact afina conceptual designs ni ade nyina no wo be obi onim construction bia be ka cho se conceptual designs no udi agro bi wa be busumi nsin abe busumi nson engineering designs bill of quantities and sana wo project scope enene bo ankasa se wo be wie na ne boy 20 million airport na bon se bia be ya fe ba ko no ansana sa 20 million no when fa na wo kwa pese ska no wo Ghana ha so woto a wogege no wo benya mu 20 million de wani ato so se wo de no ye project na project no ko kan finfin bi ana wo be project financing model se ne yen ko pebosia 20 million for Cape Coast airport sa bosia no krampo no uko u negotiate na nya nansa eno wo bosumi e wo ho ubewie eno ehun kraka beba cabinet be share approve iwie dia ko parliament ama parliament akwa approve akwa attorney general akwa finance intenya dia sebe odi anisu ade hu no esi wani so mpo na kire se bosumi miensa bewi inti catapult ejuma no mugusu o moye ebia akwa wo hu se pillars 3 or 4 si ho. But a lot of paperwork and administrative work I was on moving in Nara and sana full construction I started on Omugusua Omoye. But at the same time, no, I was also to me envision the next level. Sebe and Niswadi and a teacher of mine. At the same time, and also and Niswadi for the next level, say Cape Coast so we are the party of possibilities. Yana sebe ye chere dia ye som da ye ya ye me kai pa bra ye ka say ye be free SHS enye na say enne ye hu fa so ye kra ye ka say kwala na doso omu ni ba bi da and over by 1000 facilities are ye town hall meeting ye di hu funi ye di hu ye make website so nti ani so ade hu ye di teacher man ye ni so ade hu ni ya me be boa ye aso adodankwa akufo ado daipa ato nsupa egu ni nyuma so na bem
Well, Honorable, a little bit away from the manifesto, enough in Minga Kwan, Wadaroma. Mijisa, what former President Mahama, Koto in the Volta region, precisely Kondo and Odia Tuja say, Obe legalize the Okada business. Na Junimuno, Okada jobs, Okada no are creating more jobs than NABCO and YEA put together. Mijisa, what is answering? What are you saying?
Mate. Na. CJ, me can't be a Ebio politics na me mesro. Me Juma Oba Adom FM why are so many. My main friend you may be mouth. There's a coca crack. Now find it out. I fear Bain na Ghana, ye share Mrase Okada business illegal. Now one another your man pennies affian. Mesro pa Sisi Abutre, Freo parliamentary correspondent. Now Munwe Sukombisa say, I fear Bain. And a Ghana share Mbraso Okada business illegal. Now one and your man penny. One is science Ambrano. Then check it. Politics na any day. Will be out to be chair and Iswadi home. Ura Mahama say Okada business potential womb into your person will be legalized. But to send the MPs never say Okada business won't hear crashing in NABCO. Jidi say what honorable Abuja or say Okada business I will cry here in NABCO. You know money problem. O mani swadi hu no o matre. Uko kolebu ne National Road Safety Commission on beka cho say ade ba ko a idi emrantie ne mebunya ewo car kwan so pa ye Okada ne senior accidents efi mu ne ade nkofo na mu bubu to mu hwero mu kwan ade. Enti said you are also be ya no so be legalize keke. No, can't be even about safety. No, kick on the idea. Maybe this is Ghana for BT no matter no. Yeah, at the same time, they say the person kwalako suku. Ubi wa anka suku akwenya no. Enka onya akwenya anko beko. The second fienti onya kwa enko suku. Inti ye no ye nisu adi ho ni se edika no. Ebe man free SHS. And free SHS no ya ye man kwala yi tro nsori ewie. Iwie a see university no. University and now polytechnic and now technical university one or tertiary one or no. Ebia no niska. A honor they are buying car say free. The ben say a man of besia. Nor the ekian suku fees no. Na se uwie suku na a fear baku dikaya or yet to say national service near the end of Sabisiano or Nentia. Na unye juma ewie person ye be economy unye juma ye pe Sabisiano. With Fiasia to Ayat and Kakanka first, no, Nanko here snake be an also be mana guarantee a man. Tinqualani be brave, won't say, Unya garantant in San Caluno. Luno crasso I had a mano, Sicano form, cap no form. And then people in Israel do only say, Yamma free citizen, who do tertiary, na say, Sabu Hienti and not be binti, and a Jumabia, Uncle Yentino, wouldn't to mean yes, again to ya, Yabo Bessia. The student loan, yes, Sakram Kakra, Sikano, Emubi Pija Kakra. Now, the national ID card, they are just Abusiano. Now they are called tertiary institution, and we are a 1 year moratorium. Yes. Ufia Senior Juma, Yateton Kakra de Etia. Yen so Adihun, intimidity say, Ura Mahama, they are also Beman Kalana Yukada. Kofo the Beku Bunkum. Nan Kofo the Ura Kufuado de no pay much room, be a good in Faso. Near me beside who say, Send me and I may what DSS and I may be we ako SSR. So, they are me penny on man penny on see free SHS any yida na a big good or bow be review. Now, also catch me say, we are Unya Oba Mama Okada business. And on a me pa now say, me poor man penny or say free SHS nedia. Obitua me free and SHS obitua me free me wie a wasan bɔ me besia ma me wie tertiary no na enyuma hodo a obie in the new Ghanaian economy no me nya bi a me de atua Ghana for the business ani na ye de ejidi sɛ ombetusu adodankwa akufo adode no na nye ura mahamade no
Honorable Amina wase na yem fancy ha me gidi sɛ next time me no beka sa na me do abrofudin na be introduce I mean Honorable Kojo Ponkroma, Minister of Information and Member of Parliament of Fase, Airebina Meneno Chuche and Komono, Adom 106.3 FM. Mene Paul Abrokwa, or President of the University Students Association of Ghana. Meneno and Chuche and Komono. Paul, let's rinka.
Let's rinka.
I want you.
want to offer
Yamiasi.
Macho Ache.
Watch Yamiache, Kafra.
Macho Ache, pass everything come up for university for.
Well, something I don't know, Suguso. Na wasugu sa enkomono esuminim se na momo general as a student body se ye be mamu loan na guarantee bia eni ho na fe monya 1 year period after national service to start repayment etimo say Paul
CJ me that say any me that for nyina so ase na no pay from the student perspective and I say university for no and me just send you any manifesto mu senior ye teacher say ye benya loan na ye nhia guarantee ye biem ye die Ghana card ene be wakoji loan ye be pay loan amount no so mu kakra na 1 year na wo wie school no wo ye national service no we to interest on that semidi ye adwuma kwa tiri kakra ye university students ye petition national student loan trust fund say I didn't move so mind because you university now. If you are intimi nyejuma nyentem, that is the interest not increasing all the time. So much near the dia for it was this my administration a petition the student loan trust fund, and it say abandia to who say and who here so boa youth no more back abunting. Said the national service na ye no ye be boa asas kana no e dey asati bibi kakra bi na after 1 year no na o ma stati this loan interest na e ade a wo say ye bo aban number super papa because ne etoso biem se wo kopɛ guarantor bi say on signing manage student loan na o ji loan ni na o join one tia sa guarantor no ono ni pension pay akoda ekem na te say ono wo ye na brabo no miserable because of ye na juma na so ko pension na onya sika bi enfa copy because you be see the pension pay as a guarantor say akoba say ye di yanka say Ghana card and now say any national ID card or sign for loan student loan here guarantor bi e mu dia ene ye da mampeni afi na me be say ofa or say any oyo na ye school for university for nyina all tertiary institutions nyina no na ya boy nsema mama da o ma so say initiative pa eba be boa Ghana mine or here for omo because me was say enrollment this year no eba ko very high because of the double track system and the free SHS nipa be benya access to tertiary education but question any say fees no one be to amount every day free SHS and it's almost like the policy way bana me my friend is say the tertiary free education. Some me my friend because a good initiative. We were expecting this long ago. And it's about this time there. Yet a man penning his excellency and not doing that buying in Asi.
Okay, but Paul, on the requirement, you know, and your ID card be a Ghana card, the Ghana card na wamubeshe ansana what me I qualify. But then my next question and say on the 1 year moratorium for repayment, you know, I want to say that hasn't this been the Anna?
Well, the 1 year freedom one has a 1 year for 2017. It was not working.
I see.
It was not really working. CJ, there were a lot of things that were not working in the, let me say, currently with the NSS, the student loan trust fund. A lot of issues are there, a lot of challenges are there. We have talked, and it seems it has always been falling on deaf ears. Attention, there by my end. And it's abiding in any student loan this time. They like I said, on because study now can one seven no. Sanka Juma Papa the Anka means this. Or better boss say or the money free say 1 year no yen calculate interest via amount. Now only CG near area wo so say who train say ubeju student na enyam buy e one semester and buy second semester and first semester the number no now you calculate interest amount because once you have signed to it no na interest no has started accumulating from the day you take the first one. And it's a level 200 now was second semester. Now, first semester, students will name by a corner. You will be calculated on the interest rate. And when you are talk at the fund, they are called student loan trust fund. And in fact, Niawoka, yes, a Ghana card. And it will force every tertiary student to also go and apply or ascribe to the Ghana card. And also, I'm a Bianson Sabeka Ghana card. No, because of the queue, they will go for it because it is not a requirement for your free student loan, which you pay later, but I call it free.
Okay.
Because
Okay. Paul, Nancy, Students Loans Trust Funds, but two just a loan crowd home the mamma, Muntia. But Jesus answers, they Buamu, most of some mobile muhuni, not loan near the mamma, Mutia, and also Hunia, Paul.
Me GTV some time ago, say, I must make a water station, say, me support your band somebody, and was say, after the 1 year. After the national service 1 year, no one to the year, by the amount free. After another year, I expect it at least when somebody can do my obey. Now say after the 1 year, no free one, and you second 1 year, now won't take the crowd here. I buy any rabbi say a bit too. So we are doing minister, so we are so we are there. I've been almost said, I've been almost the kind of your I was with the national student trust fund, say, Yankee didn't to not any example.
I see.
I was part of them. Publication, I was part of that initiative. But you have to pay for the publication and all those things. And see, yes, you start buying their bay. You hold the press conference. I was asking you, now yes, you can't school for me say, almost a casicana, almost here.
Paul Medasi Mfensia.
Yo, Miss Medasi, CJ.
Paul Abrokwa, a president of the University Students Association of Ghana, and I'm in Atwitwe and Komono. Channing so Oti enka on a number of affiliate stations, and I pay Brepam. Me da wo munyina senama da wo munyina edi as and when we go along na ka be hwenu se me ne ona baba jamal e be twetwe enkomo but one my ma emfa seda no emfa emma Duraplast where Duraplast goes water flows na fe Tabia herbal mixture, your true and authentic herbal medicine, latex foam, your partner for life. And afi Vodafone, the future is exciting. Ready? Nafi the accident being so Emma Agbeve Herbal Center. Agbeve Herbal Center. Wayaresa ifi wamonso ekra sene yado masti papa. Well, na nekwe champoma safwedu atnase na nadia watnase say ya eseme mana kwa ba kwan sronkoso kwan sronkoso Sure half an a pay. The Pebia media cement so. Say, Quaya, be fast from my brabono, a wobono, a caught ting. Which will be a year free. And it may die so. UMB controller loans. Emma Quenya, Nassicano, we here at the pursue master's degree program. Sikano, we here the AWSF. Kanwa, Egu, and Nimasia, we here Kafu from. Yema up to 150,000 Ghana cedis. Kane 1.5 billion. In less than 48 hours, interest rate, you know, at that from Kra. Now we and Fahon say uni account with UMB. When you need the hot amount, and the channel so Bora UMB branch be a UMB controller loan. Can say we are buying you my any? If you want some bisa now, open to movie a 0302 633-988 0302-633-988 and after toll free 0800-100-880. Nemom Kaimame say she kakra e wo ho. Ibajo Ghana card no one saka wetimi a register. On saka wo de say wanu ye eye da bia akwanya no enie. Efi and draw 24th August and the copim 8th September. Ghana ni babia won register for Ghana card no akwanya no eda ho de ma ho. We akwanya oba be fa so ache se we Ghana ni mapa. National Identification Authority se me fan to se COVID brain omo de hihye egu akwan so a Niema womo area registration, share registration equipment no. Brano womo sanitizing after each use. Afi share be this social distancing and sahohro. Na fe face mask connection no ni nyina no womo de ye adwuma pa. Emom chane so se wonya Ghana ni. Ana so wundi mfie dunumu a you cannot register. Enya dia betimi akwa register for Ghana card. Kese ubenya birth certificate, passport, and so valid certificate of acquired citizenship. Sani may say umu biano akwenya no edaho edema. Nemom se kobani se wonni sa document mu bia nipa mienu e won potemu ha etumi edi adanse e de ma wo se wo digital address eno so bebo aw pa enti manenya wasem hia na efri na 24th ya kopim 8th September fa ho hye mu bi na ma sankan Ghana ka Shanimu say NI official. Omo Kaibo no ebeba wo mpotemu ho. Behu wo vans, wo hyen no wo mpotemu a. Wo ebon kaye announcement. Intimo aso na fam Ghana card connectivity, access and progress for all. Freddy's corner de nema papa na aba. Open phones types bia any one can dey. And home appliances bia, it's a TV, fridges, air conditioning, printers, gas cookers, home theaters, stabilizers, microwave ovens, nini metiti sa no nyina no ebuso e wo Freddy's corner. Say uben ye head office e wo kokomlemle e ben city line to. Eno no uben shopping wo ha chwade ya ma mobile phone na etimi ma blender and bluetooth speaker, kettle and a mobile now they akofie. Freddy's corner. Sumo Sumpa. For your numbers, me use 0544959195, 0544959195, and 0207937323. Freddy's Corner, your authentic source of quality home appliances, mobile phones, and accessories. Yeah, you free morning calls. Airtel Tigo Adaroma. Na panu num kopma na panundu. Onto Airtel Tigo sim ni bia pebito na peya. Now the otoya fofofo no. Fa Airtel Tigo money ni fedi djuma eno anu no automatic with them. Adada phone no so dial star 110 hash, star 110 hash. Now for select option 2. Now for what subscribe for only 2 Ghana cedis. Entoni abusafo nyina nche sankaibo emu ede. Na fe ton Airtel Tigo sim eneya. Airtel Tigo money, life is simple. Obidum bia kwakwa dukumi atranse. Na na kwa champo man so atranse nti se ukwada for miensa.
Enyum no say repeat bi. Repeat encore.
Onim tu anko beto pa.
Oh, metra kakra. Sige.
Into be karaoke.
Onyame sa wo me sunti se na brebi o kasa.
To basi.
Headset no. Headset.
Onyame
Machine ni jai no na.
Eh, kwakwa du me pant you. I want say na me dem po. Ayana where dey.
Everyone pass it.
Well, my
Represent Yamoko.
I don't know. They me you know what I'm saying. But also you be a move version. It way a new crow version.
papa.
But we can't find any crowd one. No.
Me say watchwa.
O concentrate just
Me say
watchwa would
Mr. Watchwa ya mi lead singer, Mr. Wa ndi no ho agro.
No. Tobo.
Me buy him.
O ban. Wa no be ye no.
One me lead singer.
No. Nyom crow group
na say international band.
Oh no, but chokra de say me chokra mti mema mensa so ndi asa ya no wada. Na ni
de do akata na ni inspiration ma. O say nyom crow na o mujizu. Yeah, na never do.
Yeah, what did you have? What did you have?
Yeah, no,
Missy,
CJ na central you bokode.
Adom. Ekoya yaba.
By the nyamias so de mo ba. Sa kwan no so no de na at least.
Ekoya yaba.
But the nyamias.
My adwuma.
Kwan for your boy adwuma.
So ma hwe chire.
Bra for your
na no ya kan obai no ahye that ni ayira.
Obo akura obetia.
O kan ya o so wuni ha, mesme o ha. I don't know how this mini how. Who am budum? My ever daily guide. Ever chance in a daily guide in a the odia bendi. Or send an punches Mahama. Free senior high school credibility 0. And once I'm say, Ghana man penny and another danko kufuado, Embra Ukojina Simpie Suneja, one more manifesto, washa Ghana dish and why him say Ghana dish bejina so dia twaba. Edia man pipia manuku, no man satna soon fish and one of my penny kokasa and name for delegated the abba man penny shata fita at the fita na a crest. Elban natadnim, Benkumni nifa, and an esano, Cassiana, a chef fifino, Cassiana, one more and not just wapeja na dia hwi me was 4 more for na to do more. And the obokra tare dia ba no was waka sare no obi say one day onam no watitio say my panyina da John Dramani Mahama se free senior high school wo ba obetum nchine wo be chem dudo amana kwere nim no he hwede o cheche wo nim wan kan sra pro ye ka say di free senior high school ba ye tinsem amokan yo ye tinsem amokan na free senior high school no na no kra wantimi nye na free senior high school no na no kra nya de be bo ave kra de ye free senior high school no Ghana ye de sika nyina koguso akwa say de otwa loto no atwa betre na do last konko akwa koguso etia na so ma ye say wo man ye sika se men koye ye chiri bra mumubu essence skank ye de be ya kwan skank ye de be sia resabia skank ye de be putu nyuma nyina de free senior high school ni ade was say some now kan nyina Ghana 40 afa de was atwa ho na free senior high school no me man kase metwam me ba me hyem dudo ene ade was masa wonsam na wo kan woni credibility ye kaze ajuwa de enyeye ye fa free senior high school enfa mawo ne be say no na na se da enya de no be ba so tie na da obokrata daily guide en wade wonsam aba montren no was president opens a konfi Casa de Ropa factories. I want some waha na eku juice baby no. Some panyina ko pa wontema.
Casa de Ropa no. Me call Cape Coast minya one potato bread ni bi.
Fine.
Kama.
One fabiama we am on no.
Ade
Gabriel bi na yank.
Munya butre.
He kran de CJ.
Debi munya butre. Saka ni so. Ma ko yam kam.
Debi. O be ne.
Enka me kan na ke kura me on. Mama misima. Oh, kwakwe.
When I reach no it is not on point. Tie. Kase. Okoho.
Na
udi bia.
Mabremu
bi mabremu bi me dem so
mabremu bi
na ode asa masa kofabra
o kan from say pa na ma sidi minum ye kroma e kroma enadwo enadwo ni abru
kwako awie dia ma memfa dasosem
maminwe pacho pa kasa di rupa asem ne kan edi kasa di rupa
omo pizza
who the bread
pizza
one more potato chips bi so
chips
and pizza
and one more crispies
so
one more crispy
Richard Kojana Kwanda Roma or Bray Bia
and almost our biscuit and so on.
There is no be so many pizza. So many potatoes ni be pizza. And I'm a car.
Maybe the pizza they don't say you may do.
Ah, na sa wudi. Ya mfa yi ni pizza.
Ya no mo so ni.
Ya mfa yi ni pizza.
Asa na ke ka no. Wa bu be. It is how they eat the pizza. See. It dey na demokrata no. Wa de hon sama ba na and some woman do na ya ha na wo. And also NDC free primary health care promise meaningless. We ye or my penina bed Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia and what wants my banner. Yes, NDC for manamo mobile trans more Kenyan nearby. Yaba more mouth for primary health care and a primary health care and almost say now primary health care was some muka and as if you are member that health insurance and one more year. It said no could not be go case any aba in a primary health care was it free primary health care now some more Kankasarudi goods and Yenia Sabe and Tasmu. It's way on my penina bedichi and some of the about the Obokrata, the new way delegate and then what don't want some Abba and Montinton. It's a because we would do your beer, no I can.
And my main found called the Chronicle the Obokratem and pay you and also was same. Muhammad doesn't know a good economy. Let's just say was say Nana punches Muhammad and also as some of the abandon. One also just say na and I know when I'm the water here. Can I penny John Drummond Muhammad what to Frank Adama NDC or call Framantemu. Na pro woman worker say Sikasama woman atitia pansama ese kontebe and ananase na said Muhammad ekase pa the abekase say adia friends Sikasam papa etwem na hwi na niso kora wo hunu se sikasam se papa na abɔ na niso no efiso no anka se wo hunu a wonima de kro enti se de o mai sikasam etie na so o ma hye nu na ne sa na wo bɛka de a ene no so wa kaka bia ma
mekwa homa no so na madamase mesi ha damase pii sanse ne aduro ni de
pacho fa kaki ni mam
to die si
fa kaki ni mam
makwa homa no so
ba so nim se ye papa Ivo Green Street Ivo Green Street on is able to Frank Adiama.
Yeah. Montorenko. Honorable Abajama, your Deputy Director, Legal Affairs for the NDC, Meneno and Chuche and Commander Botiminka Mwakwaba.
Mejosuminia.
Meton Kanache, Alaji.
Oh, about the morning campaign in the society. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, and he's here.
Oh, me okay, this is it.
Okay. Nina party adwuma no a.
When.
Unya mre e monitor NPP manifesto launch no.
Na ma monitor man kan monitor de. You may have no bitam ta ko dia ga. Men kan me ma monitor. Esa na men kan.
Oh, okay. So obi ho no ma be ka so we hu hya dan hia me. It's me party adwuma na me ye. Nti hu hya dan hia me.
Abanya. Wa ma sisi na eni tutu aka yensem. Na manfo kwa ho achi obo munye no mbedi. Na onno oba sisi mpie akire ni obesan ayo. Na se wo mem na o si ehu hia odi na mai na onka. So what man say?
Me tie pa.
Because abai oteso. Ono no oteso sisi. Ono no oba be kire ni obesan ayo. Emre bi oni enko apam I feel that Pamon feed men China who be shy. Only the can go back to one. And so you lose work as the end something in town for no company. Now, 7 more quite dear my eye came from Fugumana. And you all about the Canadian, know see you because your career no a year a farmer kind of crime, ye we are one. Ye we are one. And all beside Bankona, Sabaka. As I said, Mamma finally Coso. When I'm something for baby chair, you see, a bit shoes and
Keshoma.
Sadness, you know, Keshoma. That's what I say, ma, or see, and so. Better than I use her. And she, you immediately.
Okay.
But in American, I won't see.
I see. Inti, for you as a major stakeholder, what would be your takeaway from the whole manifesto, MPP manifesto? No?
First question, maybe say a manifesto launch, and I say a platform for insult of Dr. Mahama and NDC.
Oh, and it's an a insult.
It's our question. Second question, they know one of the same. Say, that manifesto no launching no. Not a manifesto launch. And your Mahama no see simple so. A deal no fair a year no because only. Yeah, a year as Serena say. Nanado metifo. Enti enkono otiso ono no obi kire. Alamebo.
Yes.
Enkono no otiso no ono na nko ba beka se maye sei. Na sabe obema ni hunu hono. Ono na sabe one ne reko demo a oka isi ni nkure wo demo. Se wunya samka sabe ukanya ope na official nsɛm so a sabe so nim fa so oka because se wo kwa kononcho manifesto actually say way anyway na mayo way anyway na me ba peto so na se wo kata every 1 minute dia wo de John Mahamadin beto so speaker bi obeka say we finance for no we obeka say no bia ba ordinary ho esusu aye abanda na o si wa nya ade enu ntiam pam no se ordinary ho ene esusu za abanda da entina ye koya na ye bai because abai mi no ana o ti abai no ne sa abai no ni leader aye John Mahama and also now drive about onya the onim adwuma no ye onim amamuo na uba pay one constituency $1 million and amebo also uba so in a one village one now also uba see 8 hospitals also uba see 250 secondary schools. Also, what's then your obey.
Okay, the vice president, Aka say, 80% of their promises were not fulfilled.
What would you do? The vice president can't say because they say, we are seeing now just to say Ghana how no chance to Chobia.
Oh, sir.
Opa Google says here, Google, the biggest liar in Ghana. What's on Google?
Yes.
So on Google.
Yes.
I am machine, I won't be a seen. I told him.
Meaning pa.
Jomusha in Fishemua. Not almost day. Unyomunim and unyomunim for mine on they are two. I am from Google. And then open Google. Or see the biggest liar near Sebi. Monimora. I wrote some other talking and they say the biggest liar. You trap and torture be a woman. Yeah, Baumia. To you, in the Baumia, some matter who bizarre. A young man came and said because of Catholic is so helpful. Because we are here for me, and we are just to say Megala. Baumia and it's Antonia. In the last end of the Makai. Now, Sabi. Now, beg you to transfer, and then you did in the end because you didn't know, you did since you did in the country. And I'm a boy.
No credit.
And it's in the Baumia, throw him or Ghana, and throw him, what yet. And throw my him.
Okay. I don't know about me bump say obey me free Eastern region now, Wabaka. Now you know I'm arranging for a one-on-one. In depth on
ready pa.
Medasi
ready pa. But near me be cattle. And I say the query.
Me ba trying.
The me be cattle better than a full next year. because so which manifesto launch na ekoye aye tasentwie en sabi in wasin samwa yes you baba launch ye bi nyame adoma na otwe ye eya munhwen sunsunia e da yedim hwe ensem wo muka wo ina na akoye cross check akwetie menya nsokura na menya nsa kese ne nza akwetie ngwa anyama omuso mayo omunye metraba tamaya asle ko ko hewa isi do amfantuna ya just aseto de samo de show ba o me so mo yo it we na aye on mind they no aye no kure and what the ngobofo kase do am say we is a dal hack the hack and battle in that battle can the hook or see no kura ba intro egane ekante intro eni gnaye na miadum enfen na yeta no waba no kura bedu ho na me dijo mahama ho afusi ene obi enguru ne do mahama ye ne na do kaze ne do ho mahama ye ne enye no ono ba ba ya trust
okay
say daddy bank beto
Mate alaji yemfansi ya attack bear
Allah akbar
baba jamani ene hwetwe enkomo no Alex Cobblestone
Chief Jerry Forson
kuman kraba kwa waka
ensuruja
edura enyono
numero 1
sheshi
na one na papa ya onene kasa
kwabna don't go there please Google asem no menko
Minko Google.
Medasi. Baba jamana na.
Oka Google do. It's not oka bi na nka me.
Debi.
Kebi o pese Google.
Debi
Question my Google.
Eric, I see a do boy.
Google ade no.